This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.
Welcome back. It is Jonathan Clark. We are in the studio with a band with a new album. It is their third album. It's called The Balance. It's coming out April 26th. You can pre-order that now. They are playing Brooklyn Steel April 3rd. All the tour dates, Catfish and thebottlemen.com. We have Van and Johnny from the band. How are you guys?
Great, mate.
Good to have you back here. Thank you for flying in from Buffalo.
It just about made it with the weather.
Yeah, and the air traffic controllers and the TSA and the whole thing, man.
Yeah. But thank you for having us back as well, mate. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. The last time you were here, you had laryngitis.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do. It was because I remember love it being stood there. Everyone had the big zip hoodies on. It was freezing.
Yeah.
So I think I just caught a
And you
big
actually
cold.
You played while injured.
Yeah.
You sang
Cheers,
a song
mate.
for us with laryngitis. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Just saying that was when we were over for Letterman as well, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I think so.
We got to do one of the last Letterman shows, and so you pushed through that with your voice as well.
I know it was freezing,
That's
wasn't
right.
it?
I remember you guys had to tape that afternoon.
Yeah, so we didn't I guess we coming from the UK, we thought, I'll be all right. We're used to the weather, but it does get cold here when it wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets really, really cold here and then really, really hot.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's nothing in the middle, you know.
It's,
But at that Letterman appearance, you had a brush with greatness at the end, right?
Yeah.
So what happened?
We just finished up, and we were, all the lights come up, we're packing the stuff down like that, and I just remember turning around, Bill Murray was just stood behind us.
Unbelievable.
In like his winter coat and hat on like that, and he just wandered in off the street, as I think only he really can.
He's just got to show his face, and he's got VIP access,
He must have the golden key to that studio,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
He just popped in to see what was going on.
Really cool. So the first album, The Balcony, the second album, The Ride, and now the new and third album, The Balance. So you're up in the balcony, you're enjoying the ride, and now you need some balance in your life. I'm probably reading way too much into
You
that.
lose your balance and fall off the balcony, and that's the ride on the way to the floor.
Yeah, and that's a nice ride and the whole thing.
The ride in the ambulance afterwards.
But everything is the. So is there any sort of continuity between these three album titles?
Just in terms of, I've always seen the album whole collection artwork, song titles on the album to be like the Rocky box set or something. Once you've got them all and you link them all up, they all make one big storyline. So it's just a lyric on. The balance is from a lyric in a song on the album called Basically, when it's I think we finally get the balance right. That's what it's from, innit? So and on the last one, it was the ride was from a lyric in Outside, a song called Outside. So the balcony was its own thing, but these two have come from songs, lyrics in the song. So yeah, we like that, the balance, and it comes off a good line about our tour manager Steve, and he's like, best get the balance right, kind of thing.
Turn me up in the balance.
Yeah.
Turn me up in the mix.
Yeah.
And you guys hold up in a couple of studios in Ireland and the UK with producer Jacknife Lee, and he's worked with really huge bands like U2, REM, One Direction, many more. Did you ever ask him how he got his name, Jacknife Lee?
He did tell us.
I think his missus named it him.
Yeah, it was, and I can't remember what it came from. But
Maybe something Jack the Lad and then Jackknife or something.
That's a pretty cool name.
I think it's good. That's why we
thought
thought it sounded like a boxing headline card: Jacknife Lee versus Catfish in the Bottlemen. That's what we thought would be. Yeah, as soon as we met him, it just felt like a good atmosphere, and the whole recording process was really good with him. It was we started in Ireland and isolated, no Wi-Fi, no phones or nothing, just all of us sitting have dinner together as a big team straight in the studio. And he was always like first up, last to bed, wasn't he? It
was the way we like to do it, which is to be in a live-in studio.
Right.
So the room with the instruments in is just downstairs, and you totally immerse yourself in the whole process. Then
right.
There's no
distractions like your cell phone.
No, not at all. And Jacknife worked that way, as you said. Someone was always in the control room or playing a guitar in another room or something,
Yeah, you'd wake up for a morning brew, wouldn't you? Go downstairs for a cuppa, and somebody would already be in there, beat you to it, so you just whip out your clothes, get in, and then it was just it was good. It was just a good environment to be around the whole process of it. We had a little bar in the studio, so you could just literally walk across the road, pour a pint, go back in.
It only had Guinness on tap, but I'm a Guinness drinker, so that was fine. But just one solitary tap.
Things could be worse.
Of course, yeah. A log fire and it's a singular Guinness tap with a few backup kegs.
It was a good place to start the whole thing, I think, and to be in, because we just turned up with all the songs. It was the first time we'd met Jacknife, wasn't it? And we played him Long Shot. That was the first one we played him, and he said, "Go straight in there, cut it." And that night we were all singing it.
Wow.
In the pub, or maybe the night after.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds really good on the radio. I've been playing that song a lot. So,
Thank you.
was there a rumor? That you guys were going to break up like a couple of years ago or something? Or is that just like mad press speculation?
You get random ones, don't you?
That was sort of accidental promotion. I think I don't know where it really come from. Certainly nothing to do with us, but I think it was just something that somebody had said on the internet spiraled out of control. But we were tucked away recording at this time, and it was just
We were all sat with each other going, "Has anybody left?" Like,
Bob, have you left?
Bob had been in the shower for too long, and everyone was worried about him.
Right, yeah.
Like, is Bob gone? Is he just bolted? But no, we didn't. But we were planning a big reunion tour. We're gonna milk it and everything. Come back with the t-shirts and everything.
Yeah. Get a box set. You know, the whole thing.
Do the first of the farewell tours.
Like Kiss.
Yeah.
So you guys have toured all around the world now, and you played all these amazing festivals. Tell me what's been the coolest gig for you guys so far.
Coolest gig. One of my favourites that always stands out is one here, Webster Hall, but we did the smallest room.
I was at that one.
Do you remember the intimate
studio
one?
Studio.
Yeah, so we'd done all the rooms, and then we come back and did a small one, and it was it was just like proper. You could hang on the rafters and stuff. It was really good.
Yeah.
That was always one in my memory.
And
one in
I
Australia.
think we all enjoy Gov Ball as well as a festival.
I love Gov Ball.
I mean, New York gigs in general are pretty good. We were lucky enough to go to South America.
I was going to say South America must be
2017
amazing.
maybe.
Yeah,
And that was an eye opener. You know, people had always said like the fans down there are amazing and so passionate, and
Hardcore.
stuff like that, and
Yeah.
like no pre-warning sort of.
Then they like greet you at the airport, like wearing like Catfish jerseys and flags
outside the
They
hotel
give
in
us-
Buenos Aires for 5 days and nights and stuff like that.
and
And
Beatlemania.
it was
good.
overwhelming, but they really, really loved the music as well. And we got to do the sideshow to Lollapalooza there, and that was just like a little club gig, but just full of these, insanely energetic, passionate fans, and that stands out for me as being a landmark one.
Yeah, because we like those ones we just said there, like the smaller ones, like going back to those rooms, you do get like that buzz again, and you feel all the energy of it. Liverpool Echo Arena was a good one last year,
Yeah.
and I always remember that one in Australia where it got rained off. Like we got told we were walking on stage, and through the top of the stage, all the rain was coming through on the stage, hitting the mics, hitting the kits.
Oh,
So we're
but
like,
you stopped playing.
no, we did. We were about to go on, and we were told, "You're never getting on here. There's a big rainstorm." But all the crowd stayed, and they were just loving it. And they were told,
to leave. It's
yeah,
not
but
going to happen.
they weren't. So they were just all singing. So we went off, thought we weren't going to get to play. Had a little beer and some taps on the shoulder. And it's like, "You've got 20 minutes. Go on."
We were about to get in the van to leave, weren't we?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, when all the rain had been coming down and the thunder and all that, the area where the fans were watching from was on like a bowl sort of thing. So there was a hill. They'd all been like sliding down the mud on the fronts and stuff. Like. So when we came out, everyone was just caked in mud and like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
just,
great.
Like, proper Dunkirk spirit, wasn't it? Everybody was twice as up for it by the time we made it out.
How about the worst gig? Does one come to mind immediately?
Worst one.
It's not
ones
for
where we
any
get shocked, isn't it?
amusing reasons, but it was a gig. It's not a bad festival. It's just a bad bout of rain and electrical shocks. One in Berlin one time, and a guy who actually now works with us, Pete, who's a guitar tech. He was working with the band Ride, and
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of Ride, and he came down with Andy Bell to introduce us to him. So they stood at the side watching it and probably witnessed one of the worst gigs we've ever done.
Every time we touched the mic, it was just getting shocks. We have
Oh,
that. We have that
man.
a lot. We don't bring the right adapters. Do we? Don't bring the right plugs for the right sockets, so we get electric shocks off the pedals. and the mic.
How about you mentioned Bill Murray, but have you met or perhaps even jammed or maybe even recorded with some of your rock and roll idols over these past few years?
He's one of mine. Do it every
Oh.
album.
Stop it.
With you and McGregor did the acoustic of Hourglass.
Mm.
He did on the first album. We did a video with him in it, and he did a full performance of that. It was the B side of the
B-side
vinyl.
was his version of
Yeah.
the track. And the video was done here, wasn't it?
Yeah, in New York, in like where is it? So it was Soho House.
Oh, okay.
They put
yeah.
one in a big hotel room.
Right.
It was
Yeah. Yeah. You guys toured with Green Day? Did you guys tour with Green Day?
Yeah, we did a full summer, nine weeks of dates with them, playing
cool. Yeah.
everywhere from Wrigley Fields to Rose Bowl, like these legendary
Wow.
spots that it's pretty
Yeah.
lucky to be invited to.
That's got to
That
be
was a good one.
inspirational seeing Green Day perform, right? I mean,
It's
just
a hell of a show they do. To have them sort of numbers watching and keep a crowd engrossed for 2.5 hours or whatever.
yeah,
they're
it's a
playing.
long show. Yeah.
There's an art to that.
They've got that much energy off stage as well, haven't they? Like they're always like someone's running past backstage or going past on a motorbike or something. there was again another show there where it nearly got rained off, and while we were sound checking just before doors, so all the people still waiting outside. Like
Mike, the bass player, set up there.
Yeah.
To call it the slip and slide.
It was just nailing it down with rain, and he just set a slip and slide up at the back of the venue, and he was just like
whipped all his clothes off, just flying down.
Yeah, just sliding down it, and everyone's going doors in 10. He was like, I'm not asked, going straight down. So yeah, they were really good to us that tour, and so were the crowds. The crowds were great for us.
Yeah.
I want to play, well, we're in the studio with Catfish and the Bottlemen, the new album, The Balance, coming out April 26th. You can pre-order that now. Brooklyn Steel, they're playing April 3rd, and all the tour dates, catfishandthebottlemen.com. I want to play the first single, Long Shot, which we talked about briefly, but I want to ask you about the video, though. It's Van, you're driving this really cool like SUV along this cliff, which I assume is in either Ireland or the UK.
Yeah.
And then you get out, and then you walk to like a festival tent where the rest of the band is playing, but there's no audience.
Yeah.
So tell me about that shoot. Where was that?
That was in his hometown.
Right in my neck of the woods, yeah. So where I live is where the River Tyne enters the country, and there's North Shields on one side, South Shields on the other. So I'm from North Shields, but we filmed it on the cliffs of South Shields. So in the background, you can see.
So is it the Channel or is that the Atlantic?
It's the Tyne River coming in from the ocean on the other side.
Oh, right, yeah, okay,
My
all
geography is terrible, but yeah, it's my neck of the woods, and we're lucky to have very picturesque coastlines up there, and the car in it was I think it's a 1956 Land Rover, like a proper Army spec one.
I saw that. I'm like,
no
I want
frills in
that.
it.
I want that truck.
It was good. The gear stick was cable tied, and like the accelerator and clutch was all cable tied together. It was, and then the window wipers you'd kind of twist, kind of two screws, do it yourself.
There's something wonderfully like
good.
simplistic about it, wasn't it? You
Yeah.
feel like with no prior knowledge, if you dismantle that car, you could put it back together. You know,
Yeah.
you turn the windscreen wiper just
Yeah.
manually like that.
But what I noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, since the song is called Long Shot, was there only one camera?
Yeah,
one long shot for the entire length of the video.
Yeah, we tied a GoPro to a seagull and just had it go.
Just threw chips and it ran after.
Had someone legging it with chips past us.
But it's so well done.
Thanks,
Wow.
mate. It was that was the guy who was flying it. He was flying the seagull. It was
the drone captain.
Yeah, and Jim, the director, we've worked with Jim. He did again the Ewan video, so he's done one each album now. He did that one. He did the Twice video, and we're gonna do a few with him this album. So yeah, we really enjoyed that because we just got to go chill up at his, and our tour manager's from there as well. So just had a few nights off in the tune and filmed the video.
Right.
And then they built the tent as well. They built that big tent for us, which was
it's like a
funny.
festival tent. Yeah, but no audience. Yeah.
After a couple of days of the tent, because we tried to film it on the first day, and the weather was so bad that they couldn't put the tent up.
It was a grey day. It was.
By the time we came to do it, I think a few people, like local people, had latched on that there was something going on there, and the police turned up one day, didn't they? But like, they brought just their daughter who was a fan. These two armed police.
Sold out.
Yeah, there's a whole story with that, but
but yeah, you can watch that video in all the right places right now. Catfish and the Bottlemen. The song is Long Shot. I'm not sure if I ever asked you this or not. I'm not sure, but tell me about the night that you received the Brit Award for Best British Breakthrough Act. So that's basically the English equivalent of the Grammy. Who presented that to you?
We got it off Nick Grimshaw.
Grimshaw and Cheryl Cole.
Yep.
Actually, she's not called Cheryl Cole anymore.
Cheryl Tweedy.
Cheryl.
I don't know.
Cheryl Cole.
Yeah, and we didn't. So we just bounced up. I think it was like kept it pretty brief. Said thanks to the fans and the Brits and the radio.
It might have been the shortest speech in Brit acceptance.
we bounced and went had a big do. Well, I was staying in a place around the corner from it, and we just went there, didn't we? We were in like Asda getting like beers and stuff, but with the Brit in a carrier bag. You know, in a taxi, like to the driver. See that, mate?
Head above the counter, like,
hey, look at this.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool. Johnny, I got to ask you a question I'm sure you've been asked a million times in your life. Do you ever introduce yourself as Bond? Johnny Bond? Shaken, not stirred?
That line's taken, man. And I am.
Come on, you must have used it at least once. You must have used it at least once.
I've not got the suaveness to pull it off effectively, you know. A blubber and Egypt.
Well, listen, I can't wait to hear the rest of the album.
Thanks,
I've heard a couple of tracks. We're going to play Long Shot right now. It is Catfish and the Bottlemen, the new album, The Balance, coming out April 26th. You can pre-order it now, and they're playing Brooklyn Steel April 3rd. All the tour dates, catfishandthebottlemen.com. Van and Johnny, thank you so much.
Thank you, mate.
Pleasure. Thank you for having us.